Is it me or did anybody else notice that threats and treats are only one letter off? Huh. Hi, my name is Dale Meredith. Welcome to Ethical Hacking Malware Threats. I guess treats could be used depending on which side of the malware you're on. But I digress. See, I'm already starting off with some really bad jokes here, aren't I? Well, we're going to start off here taking a look at the hard truth behind malware. I'm going to warn you folks up front, this is probably one of the biggest threats that we have from a security perspective for both our networks in a professional capacity as well as your own private networks and devices. And one of the hardest struggles that a lot of IT guys have to deal with is the concept I've mentioned before in previous courses. And even end users have to deal with this. We've gotten so complacent and so much in the mindset of it works that we don't care how it works. Nathaniel Branden, who's a motivational speaker, does a lot of self-help books as well as talks, said the first step towards change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. This also kind of reminds me of a movie, one of my favorite movies. It's called The Untouchables with Sean Connery and Kevin Costner. And in it, Kevin Costner plays Elliot Ness, one of the Untouchables. Sean Connery plays a street cop who's very much aware of the environment. And he tells him, as he says he's going to go after Al Capone, he reveals to him all the stuff that's going on. He says, what are you willing to do about it? Again, are we going to be complacent or are we going to think a little bit differently here? Now, this is actually a course that I wish that everybody could watch. No, I'm not telling you to upload this to YouTube. And in my career, I often do free public speaking events that are designed around the community. And in it, I'm trying to teach the parents that they can't have a blind eye to the technology that's being used, especially by our children. And even the devices we use as adults. So many times I hear, I love this particular device. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I hear this all the time with a particular product line. They always say it just works. And that's why they like it. But they don't understand why it works and how it works. And that's where we have the problem. So we're going to go through in this course and talk about what is malware. This is the biggest threat against everybody, and we need to make sure that we're covering ourselves here. Malware is not a one-size-fits-all technology. It's actually separated out into a couple of different technologies. One of them is being a Trojan, and we'll go through and take a look at what a Trojan is and what it does, as well as how does it actually infect our systems? How do we get Trojans? No, we don't go to the city of Troy and kidnap a bunch of people. Then we'll go through and take a look at the types of Trojans that are out there. Again, I really wish I could get this across to everybody. In fact, I'm more passionate about this subject than I am even passwords. And you guys know how I am about passwords. We'll then go through and take a look at viruses and worms. Now, these are getting easier and easier to discover. We've got multiple solutions in place. In fact, I think it was Symantec who made the press release that they felt that viruses were dead. But again, are we going to be complacent? Many of the attacks that we see today on corporate network infrastructures are based off of older attacks. Some 0 days, but we see a lot of old technologies being used. We'll also go through and take a look at how to detect all these different types of malware. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I've got my antivirus installed. Great. But how do you know you're not already infected or compromised? And then we'll take a look at some countermeasures, things that we can do to stop malware, or at least try to slow it down. Now, in this particular module, I'm going to be quite honest with you folks, you're not going to like this. You're not going to like this in the aspect of we're going to go through and take a look at what is malware. Then we'll look at why is malware being used, the numbers behind it. Billions of dollars are being lost yearly. Thousands of dollars at a personal level are being lost. And what's shocking is everybody's aware of it, but nobody wants to do anything about it. Or at least that's the perception, which, hey, makes it easier for an attacker. We'll then go through and take a look at how does the malware get into our environment. No, it's not just through an email. However, that's one of the primary methods. There are other methods that you may not be aware of. So let's settle in, clear your mind, take a deep breath in and exhale. And let's go see what kind of threats we can find.